I'm Brenda.
And I'm Christy. We're two friends from high school who are connecting and reconnecting over music and memories.
Welcome to Normal Bias Podcast.
We're glad you're here.
Okay. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Normal Bias Podcast. Is anyone out there? It's Brenda and Christy, and we're back. And I've missed Christy, but I've missed hearing from you guys, Martha, Stephanie, and my sweet friend Lily, who goes to my school, but also Stephen Talata from high school. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for listening to us. Thank you for missing us and asking where we've been. And we're here. We've just been trying to, well, we got the kids to college. That was one thing, but you know, just here, just haven't been, Christy, intentional and trying to narrow down a day and a time to sit and focus and talk to y'all. So I want to know everything.
So we're not actually recording on what's going to be our normal recording day.
Yeah.
So it's just been a day. Like I just told Brenda, I was like, like normally before we sit down to record for y'all, I would like have my jewelry on and I would cover up my rosacea. But this is what life has been like at my house for the past few days. Like this, life is good. We're having some like outside of the four of us extended family issues, and it's been a little bit stressful. So this is real life. I am still wearing my earrings because, well, I just got a new set. I got a few new sets from James's trip. So these are some of my new ones. But
I always love your earrings. And you know what? I had some fabulous earrings that I was wearing for you today. I've thought of you all day because I knew I was going to talk to you, and they're rainbow earrings. They're so fabulous. I know. And the sweet teacher at school, Miss Lewis, got them for me. And I rocked them all day, but when I got home, I was just done. So this is what you get. Mm-hmm. No earrings. Do I have makeup on? I can't see it. I can't tell. But
your skin always looks so good. But look, I am wearing my work shirt.
Yeah, you sure are. Yay! I'm wearing my. Y'all have seen this if you watch us because my New Kids on the Block shirt. I wear it all the time. It's comfy.
I love it. It makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. It makes me happy too. But so yeah, we're ready to sit down and just talk, and we want to hear from you guys. I think we've decided that just coming to the table, having our favorite drink, and just catch up from the week or wherever we are, wherever you are.
So. I mean, I could use some good girl time, and there's some boys out there who listen.
Yeah, there are some boys out there, but yeah.
A lot of boy time. It's like all boy all the time here.
Yes, I have same. So it is always fun when I can just sit and talk to my girl.
That's me.
That's you. Yeah.
Okay. So I no more, like we've been talking. I don't even know how long we've been talking, but I need to know, y'all, Brenda's 30th high school reunion was this past weekend. And you went to your 25th.
I did go to my 25th.
Mm-hmm. Was that like you guys were separated at your 25th?
Yes, at the 25th. So 5 years ago. What year was that? 20? Was it 16?
16, because mine was
16.
17.
Okay, yes. So 2016, I had been divorced a year because it was final 2015. So I had not gone to any of the previous reunions.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we never did. When we were a couple, it was kind of, we saw who we wanted to see. I mean, I'm not going to blame him, but I think it was more him, like he didn't want to. And I mean, I guess I could have gone, he wouldn't have cared, but we just decided not to. And so when the 25th came along, I was like, I'm going to go. Why? I haven't been. I'm curious. So I did. I went to the 25th, had a great time. And gosh, 5 years went by. And here we are at 30. And this time around, I wasn't planning to go, financial reasons mostly. Uh, and so, yeah, just the timing, the time of year that it was, I didn't think I'd be able to go. And so I totally declined, sadly, because it's fun. But then I got a message inbox from a sweet friend who said, "Hey, are you going? I heard you weren't. Do you want to? I have 2 tickets and I don't want them to go to waste. And I'd love you to have them, or one." And I was like, seriously? So I was like, before I say yes, let me just look at the calendar. Do I really want to go? And so I was like, you know what? It's a free ticket, right? If the only reason I wasn't going was because I didn't want to pay the $70-$80, I should go. And then I texted a friend who had happened to be at the 25th, Suzanne, and she was there by herself because her husband, she says he's not a social butterfly. She must have said that like 20 times this past Saturday. And so she had been there by herself. And so I was like, "Hey, are you going to go again?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm going by myself." And she's like, I got a room and I have an extra bed. You could stay with me." And I was like, "What?" So that's what I ended up doing. Yeah. She was there and I was there, and I ended up staying with her. And it was just so much fun. I was so glad I went. I'm so grateful for that opportunity that was kind of landed in my lap. Mm-hmm.
So what'd you wear?
So I wore this dress. It's a black dress. It's kind of like bubble sleeves, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. It's all black, and it's like an eyelet fabric, like overlay over like just like a black slip, I guess, under it. And I got it at Ross on the fly because I needed a dress for when I went to my aunt's funeral service a while back. When was that? I don't know.
It was October.
October. And I needed something, and I walked into Ross, and there it was in my size. I don't even know if I tried it on. And it was like $12, but I've worn it several times. Yes, I've worn it several times and I get compliments on it. So I wore that and some like leopard, like boots, like.
Yeah, you were so cute.
I thought it looked cute. Yeah. I had fun. Here's the best part, y'all. When you're at your 30th high school reunion, people are so laid back. I guess because we're finally at that age where it's like, doesn't matter if I got a pedicure or had my hair done. People were in jeans. People were just casual and laid back, and we just had a good time. Cough. It was really cool. The people that I saw there mostly were at the 25th. There were some that were missing, but then there were some new ones that came that I hadn't seen. And one of them was one of my favorite people. His name's Jimmy. And he used to always call me Brenda K. Star. I don't know if that's a singer from.
Oh, yeah.
So she like had one album. She had like a few hits, but he used to call me that. And I hadn't seen him since high school. And as soon as he saw me, he was like, "Brenda K." Like, it was just one of those, I don't know about y'all, when people give you a nickname, to me, it's like one of like the biggest like hugs. It's like such a term of endearment for me. It is just like, just to be, so as soon as he said, "Hey, Brenda K," it just all like, I just, it's like just feeling it. And it was just like, I'd seen him yesterday, but I hadn't seen him in like actually 30 years.
Oh,
So
God.
it was really cool. And he's like, "You'll always be Brenda K. Star to me." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, Jimmy." His name's Jimmy. I called him Jimmy K because his last name starts with a K. But so that was very cool. One more thing that's cool, and I want to talk about this because I've been thinking about it a lot. When you're in high school, and there's the popular kids, and I don't know where everybody fell into, like in school, if you're popular or not popular. I kind of
I was
didn't what?
I was a nerd.
No, you weren't. Kind of. I don't know. I don't know what I was. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I felt like I kind of hung out with everyone except for I, I didn't know if like the super popular people knew who I was or knew my name. Um, but it was those kids that just were like, seemed like they were perfect and they had the great car. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But one of the coolest things about being 49 now at my 30th high school reunion is that after the, official reunion was over, we all ended up at someone's room, hotel room. And I was sitting and everyone's saying hello and body's catching up. And it was just so good to see everyone. And then I'm sitting back, there was like a conference table in there. And I was sitting like with looking out into the room. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in the room with all the popular kids. Like all of them were like those kids. And I was like, and here I am. And I'm sitting at this table in the room with them, and they all know my name, and they all, we're all talking. And it didn't even matter who we were or where we belonged. Like there were so many of us just in there, I looked around and it's like, why does that matter? I mean, it just does when you're in high school and middle school and I guess elementary too. Like it just matters. There's those groups of people, but at your 30th high school reunion, you're all the same. And it doesn't even matter anymore. And it didn't matter what I was wearing or what she was wearing, or I mean, our high school, our senior year, what do you call it? Homecoming queen was there. And it was just like, huh?
Who was your homecoming queen?
Amy Espinosa,
Oh,
who's Amy Davis now.
yeah, she went through cancer a few years ago.
She did.
She really
She did. She's a cancer survivor. Like it was pretty serious and life-changing. So just good to see her, just all of them. And no judgment, no, of course I was a lot thinner back then, but it was just a place full of love. Like they were just glad, and me too, like glad to see them, not what am I wearing, are you married, or what job do you do, or it's just so nice to just be in that space with people where you're from.
Yes.
Where you're from, who I don't know, it was good things.
And to speak to that, at our 25th 4 years ago, I was surprised at I spent so much of the evening with elementary school friends, and I was so happy to see them because like a lot of them hadn't come to prior reunions, and that was their first time, and it was just like talking to Cimarron kids, and then and Facebook has been really great for keeping up with people, but I was surprised. My 10-year reunion, I was like it was the first time I had seen my high school boyfriend since high school. It was, and I was very aware at our 10-year reunion. Like I shopped, and we had 3 days of stuff, which was, don't ever do that if you're planning a reunion, y'all. That was ridiculous. But I was very concerned about what I wore. I was very concerned about how people perceived me. Sorry, cat trying to break in the room. And then like the 20-year reunion, it was more about that time. Like we went out to dinner, Shay and Denise and Jennifer and our boys went out to eat ahead of time, and like it was just to reconnect with them was awesome. And then like there were some friends that I had connected with on Facebook shortly before our 20-year reunion that I reconnected with. And then like by the time the 25th rolled around, we'd had such a blast planning it that it was just like an extension of the party. But I was really surprised that the people, the evening of the reunion, the people I spent the evening with, were not the people that I had been hanging out with. They
Mhm.
were my elementary school friends. And I so this past weekend, the day that you went to reunion, I went to Karen Kincaid's brother's funeral.
Ah,
Karen was,
I saw that.
yeah, he was 5 years older than us, and he died of COVID at the
Mm.
very end of August. So it just took a while because other people, I don't really know the whole situation, but anyway, his memorial service was just this weekend, and I didn't know Kevin. I didn't follow up with him. I knew, like after we graduated, he got married, and he like head over heels for this girl, married her, loved her, and they had girls. I knew they had but I didn't keep up with them, and then I didn't really keep up with Karen, even though we were suite mates one year in college. Like we didn't really keep up with each other until Facebook. And
Mhm.
then she's one of the people that our reunions, like I had really like has enjoyed spending time with her at those, and we've had some group dinners and stuff over the years, and but just to sit there and to hear what a good life Kevin led and what a good
Mhm.
man he was and how much he loved his family and how good he was to his people and people in general. And I was like, I walked out of there like I really missed out by not knowing him.
Mhm.
And I think that is like for me, that's the heart of what you're saying is like it's more important to know people
Mhm.
than it is to know the right people. And I think we can, even as adults, and I see it as in women all the time, and like I don't know if it's because we live in a small town and people are very concerned about hanging out with the right people, and
Mhm.
I'm never going to be the right people. I'm just not. I was not put on earth to be that girl. I'm like queen of the underdogs. I don't even need to be queen. I just want to be a part of the underdogs.
I love the
And
underdogs.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's me. Like I just want to know. I want to be I want to hang out with real people, and I want to talk about real things. I don't want to talk about other people. I don't want to talk about who did what in high school for sure.
Mhm.
Like I want to know who you are. I want to know what's important to you and what you care about. I want to know, like we may live like I live a very different life than a lot of people that I went to high school with, but we have a lot of things in common too. And that's what I'm interested in. I want to know about your kids. I want to know about your husband or your wife, or like I have one of my favorite friends from high school is still single, and that's his choice. And it took me a lot of years to realize that he was not looking for a wife the way that I really wanted to have a husband. And I was like, okay, so,
Mhm.
like it just, we're all so different, but also we're from the same place. And that means so much.
Yes.
And what I tell my elementary school best friends when we have conversations on Facebook and stuff is, they really, and Jennifer and her family, like they loved me when I was at my most unlovable. And that like I will forever be indebted to them for that. So
Mhm.
sorry for the monologue, but that's what that like I love people. And I missed out on a lot because I was afraid to love the wrong people when I was
Mhm.
young. Because I was the wrong people.
No.
I was so the wrong people. So yeah.
And back to that room, I guess, when you're a teenager, when you're young, when we're in high school, kind of what you're saying about being that person, that wrong people or whatever. Uh, I don't know. Are we putting masks up? I don't know. We're trying to be. I see that. I want to be that. I want to be more like that, or I want to attract that. And I'm so busy trying to do that I'm not like really focusing in on the person. And so the people that I had the conversations with and that I was laughing with and just catching up with on Saturday, it was just, like the masks were off, the hats were off, the labels were gone. And I'm just like, not that I don't think it was the timing, I guess, back then. Like I didn't miss out, but kind of I did like miss out on who they really were and who they didn't know me then either. But to have that opportunity now to like, even if I don't see them at the next reunion, or if I may not see them again ever. Like that moment, like that, being in that room with those people from, where we're from home, from growing up, was really cool. And like, I can't stop smiling about it. Like, I don't know why. It was just really cool. And, some of them I've known since elementary. I was with Suzanne, she's from middle school, and some like Sandy, I'm so close to, but I mean, Sandy and I really didn't start hanging out till after high school. So, it's
I
just,
didn't realize that.
yeah, we met or became aware of each other our sophomore year, but, and I to this day, we kind of try to think about how it happened, but it wasn't until we graduated that she and I and Juan and Kevin, like we all started to really hang out.
Mhm.
So I mean, I guess it's just all timing, but and then like we had breakfast the next day, and I don't know, it's just really cool. And another thing that kind of caught my attention is people that I haven't seen in a while or barely knew, or like follow me on Facebook. And so they would ask about my children, like by name. How's Alex? How's college? Oh my gosh, how's Matt? Like somebody said Matt, not even Matthew. How's Matt? Oh, he's a sophomore now, right? Is he going to be 16? Like they like new things, which I mean, I guess that's how it works. We
That is
follow each other.
that is
Yes.
the upside of social media, and that's what I love. Like that we can keep in touch. Like it'll be 5 years that
Hmm.
I've seen people, but we can keep
And
in touch and know each other.
yes, and know each other. And that too, like kind of when he said my nickname, it was like, wow, to hold that information in your heart or in your head, and then to repeat it to me, like that's really caring uh, and kind. And I really liked that. But at the same time, I I didn't want to leave that space. I didn't want to leave those people because I just wanted to talk more and know more and catch up, because a lot of the conversation was really, well, how'd you meet your wife? Well, where are you still teaching? Are you still, it was more like what we're doing now than the stories of, back then. So that was really cool. But I left there thinking, oh, and so many of us said this, and here's that word again, intentional. So many of us said, why don't we do this more often? Like a majority of us live like within 5 miles of each other.
Girl,
And we either don't run into each other, or, we don't make plans. We just see each other on Facebook.
only you had a giant house and a pool that was great for animals. Oh, that's right. You do.
So yeah, so we talked about that too. Like just, it doesn't have to, it doesn't have to be extravagant. It doesn't have to be, you just be like, hey, I have like, the day's nice. Let's get pizza. Let's meet at Dewson Park, like we used to do when we were kids. Let's just get all the, hang out, bring a chair. So I really feel like I want that. I want to do that more. I and I'm saying this from a whole other conversation. My anxiety, like my fear of leaving my house and like being in those social situations, because I was very nervous going.
Mhm.
I was very nervous. I was very anxious. I even told Suzanne, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I can. And she's like, why? And she said this to me and two other people. Why? It's just people that love you, people that like you, they can't wait to see you. They don't even, it's not, again, it's not, they don't care what I look like. They don't care what I'm wearing. They just want me to go. And so I have to get out of my head now. I'm ready to get out of my head. I want to, I guess I'm gonna have to baby step it into inviting those people, or inviting people over or getting out and meeting them where they are.
Hey,
And
you need a date? I'm your girl. Like I got time, sister.
okay, well that would make me happy. Speaking of dates, no, but I did. I
Brenda has upped her grooming game, y'all. I'm convinced that I'm gonna find out that she's like on Tinder or something. I'm not gonna
no,
tell you what she's been grooming.
no, right, no. I kept my eye and ear open, thinking, well, God made it really easy for me to get a ticket and get a room and blah blah blah. And then two things like popped up like really random. It was about reunions and stuff. One was like a movie, I caught like half of it and I was like, am I gonna meet someone at the reunion? But I didn't. There was no one, and it's fine. It's fine. It's
There was no
fine.
one there who was single, or there was no like
I
clearly
definitely saw some people that were single, but it wasn't that time to like reconnect with someone, if that makes sense.
but it could be like the beginning of a story. Like, well, I saw her across the room at our 30th high school reunion, and I thought, Brenda, she was so funny and nice and sweet in high school, and look how cool she is. She has a podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, like I hear like much like your milkshake, that will bring all the boys to the yard.
Yeah.
If I knew the
So,
tune, I would sing my podcast.
right.
I don't know the song goes sorry. My kids just died a little bit inside. They're not even gonna listen to this, and somewhere they're dying inside.
Cringe. Somewhere my mom just said something cringy. So I just have to say this to you guys listening. Um, if I know a few that if they are listening, I know one for sure. She's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm going to my reunion," and then there's a couple that are popping in my head that I'm like, I think we'll have that. No way. I'm not skinny enough, or I don't look good enough. I'm telling you right now, whoever you are, if you have any doubts about going to a reunion, please don't. I'm telling you, I wasted a couple hours of pacing and worrying about that. And just go. You'll be so glad you did. And you'll reconnect with people. Uh, it was fun. It's just fun. hmm And so yeah, so please, if you have doubts, you just need to go. You just need to go. I mean, obviously, if you can't afford it, you know, try, maybe someone's going to give you a ticket or ask, because here's the other thing: several people couldn't go and were offering their tickets. So don't even. How about that? Don't. That's not an option either. Find someone who's not going after all, and use their ticket. So
And if you're in the class of 92 and you want to go, just call me. We'll get you a ticket.
yeah, Christy's on the committee.
Mhm.
I have to say thank you to the committee, like the 6 people who put it together. I think I think they've done all of them. And
That's a lot. It's a lot.
it
And
is
yeah,
it's a lot. And I just appreciate, I need to send them notes, but I really appreciate all of the things that, the time and just the thought of, making it all come together. It was really cool. It was very good. I was glad I went.
I know what the title of this episode is.
What is it?
You know, I love Depeche Mode. Have we used People Are People?
We have not used People Are People. Yay.
Makes you want to sing it, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. People are people. Was it? People are people. So why should it be
You and
you and
I
I together? So yes,
People are people. So yeah.
people are people. Yes, and some people are your people. And I've always said this. I tell my kids, like, just don't forget where you're from. I, and I love where I'm from. I love where I grew up and the people I grew up with.
I
I
do
think
too. I will say it is kind of handy though when people are talking about like how badass they are, and I'll be like, well, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah,
that off real fast.
right. Yeah. And Lily, if you're listening to this, if you listen to this, my sweet friend Lily, who's in 5th grade, you know, some of these people at the reunion I have known since 3rd grade. And so, and it might seem far away, so far away, but time goes by so fast and so quickly. And it's really fun to see those friendships that you're starting right now and where they'll go. And you'll be surprised too that some of the ones that you see that you might become friends with, like you might not be friends now, but later, who knows? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Lily, I want to do an episode for you. I want to do, and we, as part of our camp thing, like anyway, one of the things that we did was a meditation, and you think about like you go back to your 8-year-old self and you go forward to your 80-year-old self. That I spent my time with my 5th grade self. And I would love, like we did a letter to our 16-year-old selves, but I would love to talk to our 5th grade selves, because y'all, when I was in 5th grade, I looked like a boy. My teeth were still so jacked up. Like I would have bad teeth for years yet. Um, and I felt ugly. I felt like I didn't belong. I felt all these things. I
Mm-hmm.
felt fat. I felt like I didn't feel anything positive about myself. And I know that I couldn't have been a very good friend, but people love me anyway. But I would love to spend some time talking to our 5th grade selves. I've done this with my own kids, but like, what do I wish I would have known about me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I wish, like, if I could have known, who I was going to marry, like, because James is awesome. It's hard being married, but James is awesome. Like, if I had known how I would end up, like I have great kids. I have a great life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not rich. I have not traveled the world. I haven't done a lot of things, but I have done a lot of things that I never saw myself doing. And so, yeah. So Lily, we're gonna report one for you.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Because
So
definitely, you know, 5th grade, again, it's the last year in elementary school. You are about to be in middle school, like sister, like just so many things. And you know, I remember being so nervous and scared about being in middle school and just a lot. So that it'll be fun to revisit the 5th grade.
we'll have
Mhm.
pictures.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Ugh.
Luckily, all of mine are from my dining room, so it shouldn't be a
Oh
problem.
yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah. Well,
But
well,
mhm.
I'm so glad that you went to your reunion. Um,
I'm glad I did too. And I didn't, it was one of those like I didn't think about it, overthink it, or it all happened so quickly. Like, Carrie was like, please use the ticket. And I was like, sure. And then because I wanted to tell her yes or no. And then like, I texted Suzanne and she's like, yeah, you should go. And then so all within like a couple hours, I was like, okay, I'm going. Okay, I'm gonna stay with you. And it was, I don't even, was it a week out? I don't even know. It was days.
I was gonna say
Uh,
because you weren't going the last time I talked to you when you were 16,
yeah.
and then
Mhm.
I don't know what I texted you about, and you were like, "Oh, I'm going." I was like, "Oh, okay." Because I did think
Yeah.
about meddling and buying you a ticket, but I was like, "That's not really the issue." So
Mhm. Yeah. And then like Tracy was like, you went to your reunion? Like, I didn't even know. You didn't even tell me. I was like, honestly, if I would have started telling people or thinking about it too much, like I wouldn't have done it. I'd have been like, I'm not going. I want to go by myself. That's really lame.
no,
But
it's not lame.
it wasn't. And it wasn't lame when I went 5 years ago by myself. When I went 5 years ago by myself, that was it was a year later from being a divorce. And for me, I remember when I walked in, I was like, I'm going to go. And even if it's by myself. And it was one of those, I I can do this. I'm by myself now, but that's okay. And I remember really wanting, I don't know, I was proving something to myself or just, I was taking that step then. And,
You did it.
and I did.
You
And
survived.
I had so much fun and here I did it again. So I don't know what the next reunions, I don't know how those work. Do you just decide? I mean, I guess milestones 25 and 30, but do you do it every 5? Do you do it 10 more? I don't know.
I don't know. Like I'm like I think I could do it every year. Like I loved when they were like Alfred and Dawn put together a dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. Like I was 40 then because I remember what I wore to the dinner, and I was like, it was like the probably like the first time that they had. It was the first time I'd seen a lot of people like. So one of the things that's different, I was very thin and I had very short hair. Like not short hair like I had a bob. Remember, I had like boy short hair. Y'all don't know
Mm-hmm.
that about me, Brenda does. And so it's always a little bit like when I'm gonna see people that I haven't seen since I was young, I get a little bit like inside because I don't look like me. But at the same time, when people see me, they're like, "Oh, Christy." So I guess I mean I look like me, but just with hair and fatter. But I always get a little bit like tangled up about that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember going to that dinner because I don't know what I've gotten. I don't know. I got the outfit. I wore the outfit that I got for my 40th birthday, and I remember thinking like, this isn't really like they're not used to me wearing stuff like this. But then it was just about being there with them, and then every gathering since then has just gotten easier and easier and easier.
Mm-hmm.
I've loved every minute of being with my friends, and the people that I am like planning with, hanging out with, doing this with, they're not the people that had sleepovers with and did my homework with, and you know, like, and that's okay. Like it's all I've gotten to meet new people and reconnect with old people. You know, like Alfred texted me today, and he ordered there's a U2 shirt that he let somebody. So Alfred and I had U2 in common in high school, and that was what I had in common with Alfred, and then also Andre, who you got to see this weekend.
Yes, I haven't mentioned him, but it was so fun and we talked so much.
So I actually went to Andre's 40th birthday party. Shane,
Aw.
he lived pretty close to I don't really know how it all shook out, but I was at Ronnie and Amy's house, and I went over to the party and met Shay. I don't know, but anyway, I went to his 40th birthday party, and I was like, and that's probably the last time I've seen him, so it's been a little bit, but
That was awesome.
yeah, but it was like that. So Brenda's class, because you're just a year ahead of us, like there's a lot of crossover in our
Mm-hmm.
like when Jennifer and I were freshmen, our best friends were in your class, Kristen and Janice.
Yeah.
And I guess
Which,
they were her best friends from middle school that I just inherited.
mm-hmm.
And Denise
Same.
was there. What about Kristen?
Denise is there. She looks fabulous. No, Kristen was not there.
Mhm.
And then, Brian Wasson was supposed to go. He didn't go. Really wanted to see him. Denise looks amazing, fabulous.
And she's happy.
And so happy.
Mhm.
I'm just so happy for her. And I got to meet Andy, and he was watching we talked about college football because he was watching the A&M game. So that was super fun.
Our Longhorn friend who actually graduated from Sam with me. And she was a Longhorn first. That's who has
Yes.
her. She's marrying an Aggie, and it's hilarious because she'll
It's
post from Aggie games in Kyle Stadium, and it's like you must have really love. And he is an amazing guy. Like we've all known him
yes,
since we were kids.
but
But
that is total
that's love.
love. I,
Could you date
that
an Aggie? Could you
I
date?
was just about to say I never I don't like to say never. Um,
Dear Lord, please
but
send.
it definitely would be. I cannot picture myself saying yes to an Aggie. I just can't.
Oh, you
Not
hear that?
saying it wouldn't happen, but I'm just saying that's, I don't know.
I was I'm like, I want a crystal ball now because I'm like, I want to see you with your Aggie. Because now I know it's going to be an Aggie.
I just feel like that's a deal breaker. Like, I love my Aggie friends. I loved when they beat Alabama not so long ago, but it's just for me a climate and culture that I do not understand. And I don't, Mhm. I'm not gonna say never, but I just don't know. Here is one super fun thing that really made me smile. I just love Andre Clark. Recently, I just found a journal where I wrote quotes in. I posted on Instagram, and several of the quotes in there are from Andre. I meant to tell him that, I forgot. But he's like, I post my quotes on the whiteboard, on the dry erase board for the kids and the teachers. And he's like, I take some of your quotes and I put them on my board and share with my kids. And I was like, that's so cool. That made me happy. I mean, he never told me that before, but it's like, that's awesome.
See,
So,
you never know, like, you don't know what you're doing that means something to somebody else.
mhm. You don't. That's
And
why you should go to your reunions, people.
why you should be kind and like all the things, like just be who you're supposed to be
You
true, like all of the things, because it, maybe it's could be as simple as it's your kids are watching you and they're learning.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
could be that someone is anxious about showing up and they're watching to see how you're going to show up. Like you don't know who you're helping. I got a text out of the blue today from someone who I was able to do like just love on her a little bit. And she texted me and said, you don't know how much your positivity means. And I was really in a kind of a rough place this morning. I had just kind of rehashed some of the stuff that's going on with our family with a friend, and I was kind of stewing about that. And I was like, I needed that. I needed to hear that it means something. So
Yeah.
so just keep doing the things that you're doing and being kind. If you didn't watch Brenda's reel that she posted on November 16th, watch that.
Mhm. Thanks.
So, and we'll have to go back to recording during the day because like it's just the lighting is off.
I know. Yeah.
Just I'm all grainy. It could be the internet because it's nighttime. I don't know. We'll have to go back to recording earlier so I look better.
Yes.
How
So
vain is that? Like, so,
5:30 next time.
but also hopefully next time will not be all like hyper.
Well, I never actually like my forehead like is like a solar panel. You see that bright, like the kitchen light is like reflecting off my forehead. That's what I see, that giant like glare. It's hilarious.
No, I can see
But
it. I love like when I was still a consultant at Galena Park. There was this one. I don't know if she forgot every time, but she always came up to me and she'd help. You have the happiest, rosiest cheeks, and I would be like, "It's rosacea." But yes, I am happy.
yeah.
But it was always so sweet. She would come and just squeeze my face. I'm like, it's kind of a disease, dude, but okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh my gosh. Well, it feels good to talk. I am glad to be sitting here, and I am excited for all of you to pull up a chair and grab your drink and sit here and talk with us. It's one of my favorite things. So
And
yeah.
we are going to be better about social media.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do our favorite things photo a day in December, which I haven't participated in one of those in forever. So I'm super.
I haven't either.
I've been kind of in my head, in my own space, and kind of in my own lane,
Mm-hmm.
things, and yeah. So, but I'm
And I might, just do a little like last night or the Instagram post, a reel I put on yesterday. It's just kind of a little recap, just a couple of things that popped in, that happened to me, and it was just like a little recap of my day. So maybe I'll have some recaps from things that I see, that I think about, that I want to share. So you guys can get some or get reacquainted. We're still going to talk about music. We're still going to title our episodes music titles. That's music's a big thing. And our theme at our reunion was cassette tapes and 80s and 90s, some old stuff from fun things that reminded us of that. But the cassette, our name tags were cassettes. So it was really cool.
That was so cute.
So cute. I loved it. Everything was really, really fun. So
Well, I think clearly I'm ready for bed because I keep,
Yes.
and I'm to the point I'm like, not till 9 o'clock. I could like put on PJs, right? I can wash off my makeup and put on PJs.
Yeah. Well, it was so great to see you and talk to you. And as usual, we showed up with a black shirt. Like we always do that, and our hair's up.
Mhm. I I have a new item of clothing that James bought me last week.
Oh,
And I'm curious, have you bought anything at Target in the last like month or so?
not in the last month or so. Okay, do I
Um,
need to? Oh wait, that's not true. That's lies. I did buy something. Actually, Tracy ordered it for me because she has the Target card, so I get her discount in shipping. I got a olive green jacket with stars on it. That's what I got. It's so cute.
I didn't.
Did you get that too?
I did not, but I did finally find an olive green jacket. I've been looking for one this whole time. I never bought
Mhm.
one. Anyway, so I did finally get one of those at the Gap. But James, we were walking through Target and James, I had seen it when I was there with Casey and I was like, oh, I'm not going to buy that for myself. I don't need it. And then I was walking with James and James was like, oh, you should buy that. And I did. It's an orange hoodie.
An orange hoodie. Okay, I need it.
Amazing. I wore it last week and I feel like I look like a hunter's like side piece or something. Wearing my camo skinnies and my orange hoodie. And I was like, this is not right. Like this is just not this outfit is not okay. But anyway, yeah. And Casey, I guess maybe it was the day that Casey came home last weekend and babysat. And she was like, I've never seen you in a hoodie. And I was like, I know.
That is, I want to see that. I love it.
Mhm. So yeah. I probably will not be wearing it with camo again because it just didn't feel right. But
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. But because we are recording on Wednesday, weren't you glad it's Wednesday?
oh,
And because Thanksgiving is next week, let's wrap it up and end with what you're grateful for, what you're thankful for.
mm, I am glad. I am really glad for I'm glad for this time with you. And I have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed sitting here and we sat down for a few minutes before we started recording and kind of planned a few episodes and planned some things out. I'm enjoying that. I am thankful for I have a Wednesday night workout group now. And
Oh,
it
yay.
yeah, it kicks my booty. And that's why I was grumpy. That's part of this tonight is I was grumpy because I had to miss it. And I don't like that. But I am grateful there's a workout that even though like I don't love to work out, but I love how I feel afterwards. I love that I'm already stronger after, just a few weeks of doing this. So I love that. I love how things are falling into place that I can focus on health and that kind of stuff. So I'm happy for my schedule and the things that are in my life right now. The people.
Mhm.
What about you?
I love that. I am glad. I am glad to me too, to sit here and talk to you and have plans and still have a podcast. Like, that it's just fun.
Mhm.
And I'm so grateful for that we are doing it, that we're gonna sit and talk to each other. I am grateful, so thankful for those people who I graduated with
Mhm.
that reached out and said, go, here's a ticket, have fun. And who said, stay with me, and who talked to me and just, I feel like they see me, they love me just who I am. And we picked up where we left off, and it just made me really happy. And I'm just so grateful that I had that opportunity and that time with them. And I am thankful that Alex is coming home next week. And uh, so, yeah, I feel I'm in a good place. I'm excited. I feel like God is, you know, good things are coming. It's the end of the year, but I really am excited about, and I don't know why, but I just feel excited about what's coming, even if I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, we never really know.
No,
But
we don't, but
And I think that's part of it when you can just be happy where you are and be excited about
Mhm.
next. So
Yeah.
that makes me so happy for you.
Well, thank you. And I'm excited that people have asked about us. I'm glad that we've been missed and asked about, if we're still doing our podcast or when we're going to record again. So that makes, I'm glad for that too. So,
That makes me happy.
yeah.
I was thinking, like, I feel like our podcast has kind of evolved from from the mixtapes to, I feel like part of like what we have discovered in recording this for the past year and a half or whatever, that are almost year and a half, is that like I feel like we're like those little girls that like with the mic and the boom box, like recording. I wanted to be a DJ so bad. I've told you that before.
Uh-huh.
I heard myself on the radio and I was like, nope, that is not gonna happen for you. But like I used to just record myself, and James has like, and I think he has some in the studio, just like tapes of like him just talking. And I was like, that's me. Like this is just a thought download for us. Like that's what this has evolved
Mhm.
into. It's not just, interviewing people and talking about that. It's just talking, just spending
Mhm.
time with us and Martha and Stephanie and now Lily.
Mhm.
Yeah, and whoever else is out there listening, thank you for being with us.
Mhm. Thank you for being with us, and hope maybe our conversations spark something or inspire something, motivate. I don't know, but I just feel like that's where it's at when we sit here and talk and have that connection with each other, and extends to you all, and then to whoever you talk to tomorrow.
Mhm.
So yay.
We need to get together and record a new intro and outro, like of us
Yeah.
sitting around the table talking.
Yeah, we need to. Maybe, well, maybe next weekend. I'm not sure what you're up to. We can talk about that. So,
If I know my children, I will be putting up a Christmas tree.
oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, that's super fun. Well, we'll find a
Come on.
time, but
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah, it
So,
will not.
okay.
I love you.
I love you too. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I will talk to you soon. You guys be well. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey y'all, are you still watching? Are you still listening?
We're so glad that you're still with us. If you want to connect online, we're at www.normalbiaspodcast.com, or you can find us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube. And our very favorite, if we made you a mixtape, we'd put all those songs on our Spotify playlist for you.
All the things.